All right, so with our handsome Mr. Bodie, hi handsome guy. So we're gonna warm up a little bit with some find us, just redirecting him from the environment back onto me. A little bit of some recalls. So Bodie, here. Yes, nice job. So with the handsome guy, we're gonna also work a little bit with some of that play, sort of take it and drop it as well. I have a slew of toys over there that I know Mr. T was playing with earlier, but I do have his tuggies, yes. So we're gonna work a little bit with some of this recall practice just to get him in the groove. And then I'm gonna work a little bit with that take it and drop it as well. Ready? Find it. Bodie, here. Oh, and try not to trip on my own dog toy. Yes. Cautionary tales. Chewing is hard. My goodness, eat it up. Oy, oy, oy. So much saliva. Ready? Find it. Ready? Bodie, here. Yes, what a good job. So again, we're just kind of warming him up, getting him out and about. Bodie, here. Yes, nice job. So before we go into some play, I do want to work a little bit with some loose leash walking. I would also recommend, I know he's been doing the advanced class, which is awesome. There is going to be another advanced at some point too. It's just right now when I come back from vacation, like mid-April later, when this class, like the advanced class ends for him this coming Saturday, there will be another one probably added to the schedule a little bit later, but it's going to be, I think, maybe my field trips class. I'm sorry, my explore and learn class, which is going to be same thing where it's an advanced class where you go out and you go to different venues. But as opposed to, for example, being indoors like Tractor Supply or Lowe's or whatever, we're going to end up doing like Doyle Conservation. So that's a really fun place to go and explore at. And then we'd work on, like, again, the skills we've been doing in class and in the structured play and doggy day school zones, maybe. And then from there, work those dynamics and help generalize them to the real world. So the advanced class that's going to be the explore and learn, I'm hoping to add to the schedule soon. So I'm just waiting for like the weather to be a little bit nicer, though today is quite lovely. Ready? Find it. And then we'll do another little Bodie here. Yes, what a good job. So we're going to go into working a little bit with that loose leash walking. So again, as he's getting more in the groove, you do want to fade out the lure being out near his nose the whole time. So you would, again, use it when needed to help him regain some focus if he's having a challenging moment. But in general, try to help him while he's staying somewhat nearby, capture those moments and mark them with, again, little yes as you're feeding. So we keep reinforcing these moments of being nearby is when all the good stuff happens. Yes. Can't remember. Okay, good. I was like, oh my gosh, did I forget to turn my microphone on? Ready? Find it. So right here, as he moves away from me, I'm going to see if he can reorient back to my side once more. So I'm just kind of meandering. The moment he kind of comes back to my side, yes, and I feed. So this could be the left or the right. The main goal is that your puppy is getting fed for when they come back from the environment and then start to reorient back to you. So this is really great for practicing, like, again, your loose leash walking skills later with some distractions from the environment. So we've got some good noises again in the building, some beeping. There's probably a truck backing into the building somewhere. Yes, nice. And then earlier today we had some good banging, some good distractions. Yes. So I do like to sometimes practice both the left or the right so your puppy can get much more comfortable with either position. Yes. Ready? Good job. And then from here, we could also rock a little bit, ready, with a little front. Nice, good job. I know, getting so tired. The lovelies are doing a very good job today. Ready? With me? Or let's go, whichever you've been using. Chewing, sir. Almost had it. All right, there we go. All better. Poor guy. Ready? What a smart man. Ready? Find it. He's like, where'd it go? You got to go search. Ready? Find it. There we go. Now he's on to it. I'm just going to move this rope toy out of my way so we don't trip on it. Ready? Bodie, here. Yes, what a good boy. Smart man. So I wanted to work a little bit with those toys. If we have some excitement, I'm just going to ignore. So Remember too that sometimes when your puppies give you a little bit more than you wanted, it's typically, there's a big emotion, but they don't always know where to put it. So sometimes that jumping or mouthing can happen. I know too, like towards the end of the day, they get a little bit more fatigued. They have taken some naps, but again, it's not like as deep of a sleep as they'd get at home. So you may find that times when you're out and about practicing with your puppy, they might get a little bit more rowdy because there's so many other factors adding to behavior there too. Ready? Find it. Bodie, here. Yes, nice job, sir. What a brilliant boy. Ready? So maybe we'll try just a couple little sit waits with him if we can. Wait. Bodie here. Nice. And then that way we'll work a little bit with this and then we'll try a little bit with the playing like I mentioned. Ready? It's like I smell something amazing. There's probably a few crumbs that we may have missed here and there. Ready? So we'll get a lovely little sit from him. I'm going to tell him to wait. Bodie here. Gorgeous. So you see that I tend to make them short and sweet so they're successful from his perspective and that it's not too challenging. So again, wait. Bodie here. Yes, what a good job. So if again your babes are struggling at times, always gauge, what's the environment up to? Have I actually trained this behavior well and sort of again generalized it? Or is it sometimes a lot of times all of the facets of difficulty and novelty and something brand new all at once? So if you're finding your success rate is not super high, where the babe is unattainable when it comes to building those skills or offering behavior, and I would normally say that the environment is too challenging for them or they're having a moment where they're not feeling it. So right here, Bodie, here. Nice, what a good boy. Smart man. So I'm going to try a little bit with some of his take it and drop it's. So if again, he likes to play with 2 tuggies, that's always a nice option. He's like, lady, I'm ready. So if your puppy's really eager, I like to try to help them kind of get a little bit comfortable or softer before they get the tug. So ready with me? Nice, good. So because if, let's say, for example, jumping and mouthing, I know it's very common practice for him. That's how he's playing. And sometimes when he gets excited, he doesn't quite know where to put it. So I would highly recommend is practice a little bit with this on-off switch of revving the engine and then putting the brakes on and kind of back and forth. So right here, we're playing. It's alive. It's super fun. He's like, I got it, lady. Woo, wild man. Ready? And I'm going to do Bodie. Ready? He's like, this is the greatest day of my life. Find it. So again, toy doesn't go away, but I'm going to have it a little out of range. Ready? We're going to do a little bit once he finds his snacks first for that little dropping of the item. With me? So toy, again, for right now, I'm just helping him kind of work through it. Eventually, you'd be able to kind of have the toy low and he'd be holding back and you wouldn't grab it till it was his turn to grab it. But sometimes in the beginning, you got to build up to those bigger boy skills down the road. So right here, if he gets a little jumpy, we're just going to keep walking for a few little paces. And then maybe when he keeps all 4 on the floor, right there, good. He's like, where'd it go? You got it. So I want him to think that there's a lot of great value in sometimes also working towards something. I don't want to make, like, for example, everything in life he has to earn. I think in general, he should just have fun being a dog too. But there could be moments where if, let's say, toys are very motivational for this handsome guy, this would be something that I would use to my advantage. So if toys, let's say, are very drivey and he has a really good time with it, that would be something I would use for loose leash walking. I'd use for engagement with the handler. I'd use it, for example, also coming when called, and you can go right into some playtime. So that can also be, again, another great reinforcement for this handsome boy. He's like, I got it, guys. He's going to be so tired. He's a wild monkey. So then we might try, ready? Bodie. He's like, this is the greatest day of his life. So if, let's say, he's a little bit gone, nice. I'm going to see if I can get him to drop. Yes. He's like, let's go again. So that was very pretty. Ready? So as he gets a little bit better, as opposed to doing a find it, I'll ask him for the drop it, give, or out, and then feed. And that's right. He's a little excited. We're just going to let him go. And then I would feed the moment where he releases the thing right to his little nose. So he's getting fed right for that lovely letting go. So right here, we're having a little bit of movement because I don't want him to think it's about kind of pummeling me or the toy. And we're just getting him to do a little bit with some engagement. Good. So again, then he gets to play. What a smart man. So, but if you're finding when you're practicing with him, he is almost getting more and more jazzed or more and more revved or more mouthy, excuse me, that is going to be your puppy getting overtired. He could be getting over aroused too. Not, again, it's not a sexual thing. It's more like the excitement's getting so high that his brain to body connection is kind of fizzling away. So we want to make sure he's not doing too much and getting lost. So again, right here, he's doing a great job playing. He says, I almost had it. So it's very normal for them to jump and wiggle. So no problem. So, but if they kind of bump into a lot and you're having a hard time with it, practice a little bit with softer toys that maybe don't invigorate him quite as heavily, where he doesn't get quite as excited. So, but right here, I'm going to go, ready? Bodie. Drop it. Yes. Nice. What a good boy. You ready? So we're going to go ahead and walk a little bit again. So, and the benefit of this little pausing and walking is just to kind of let the excitement or the arousal go down a little bit. What a smart boy. So pretty. Nice job, mister. So like right here for doing such a nice job, good. We'll go right into playing again. So if you find that this toy is not quite as exciting as, for example, his other toy, so that would be something where you want to gauge the level of which woohoo happens, and then make sure he's like, I got it. Make sure you're working him a little bit below that. So that way it's not always every time like 110% of, oop, chew them, sir, chew them. You good? He says, I forgot how to chew. You good? You poor little munchkin. All right. Oh, or did you land funny on your foot? Oh, you silly monkey. Here, we'll take a little breather. So poor little munchkin. He says, sometimes my foot feels a little bit funny. We'll do a little simmering. Do you want to do a little down? Try to relax for a little bit. He's like, lady, I can't. So we'll try maybe a little find it just to help him simmer. So every once in a while, Mr. B, his back leg has been bugging him. So, and I know you went to the vet and you tried to figure out what was going on with the handsome man, but every once in a while, you know, again, just depending on how he moves or how he puts his weight on his leg, he does seem to get a little bit uncomfortable. So, but again, that's where I was trying to keep the play a little softer too, like no jumping up to grab it, more just grab and kind of pull a little bit. Nice. So, but even right now, as I'm holding it, we're just going to do a couple little find-its, just help them stretch out that leg. Nice. So, but even now with the toy out, he's still doing a good job doing the find-its versus going and only targeting, for example, the toy. So again, if you have moments where his little leggy is not feeling as good, obviously we're going to have to, like, you know, take little moments and pauses. Oh, I dropped that one. It got stuck in my hand. Good job. Good work, sir. It's embarrassing when it falls out of your mouth. And we'll take a little break then. I thought you were choking on your snack, but you were just a little uncomfortable with your foot. So obviously with the handsome guy, he's still, you know, sometimes chewing and panting is hard. You all right there, sir? You got it? It's like, I could not contain that snack. Oh my goodness. I know, let's simmer down for a second. Good job. So if again, your handsome guy sometimes does get a little bit sore, we'll have to just gauge what seems to throw off his leg. Sometimes he, again, could be meandering and then all of a sudden he's walking and then maybe that leg feels a little bit funny for him. So, but we'll just do a couple little easy peasy find-its, let him kind of simmer. Bodie, here. Oh my gosh. Well, you could eat that one again. Yum, yum. Ready? We'll do another little find-it. So again, I'm just trying to do some easy peasy, like straightforward movement versus sometimes turning or pivoting. Yes, nice job. So it's a little bit easier on his leg. Good job. Ready? Find it. But it is one of those things where I know he's going, I think you said for another appointment, just to see what could be going on, I think with like an x-ray. But let me know, like keep me updated, because again, I don't want to, you know, make things feel worse for the handsome guy. Sometimes there's certain things that maybe he can't be rocking right now, potentially. But he had seemed to have gotten much better, but then every once in a while you can see he still has that little moment. Bodie, here. But we'll give the handsome guy a little breather. That was so good. Take a little break for a moment. Maybe I'll refill their water again because they tend to gobble it all up. But he did a really good job with those practice moments.